15 years ago, I was an owner of a rehab company with over 300 employees and traveling all around the nation and experiencing all of the symptoms that are commensurate with beginning the change of life. And so I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and go see my OB-GYN, and who I've been seeing for 10 years, and see what she has to say. Well, she took the test, and yes, you are, gave me Prempro, and I took one pill, and I had an 8-day headache. I wanted to go out and shoot myself. I could not handle it. The girls at the office would lay me down in the office and close the drapes, and just so I could sleep for 10 minutes. And no one I knew of had an alternative to this. And my son, who was in med school at the time, wanted me to try Prempro because he had just been to a conference and said, Mom, I'm worried, you're going to have bone problems and heart problems, and you have to try. I can't try. So he and I just went to war on this one subtly, but I couldn't do it. I could sense my body could not handle it. So I began to look for something to read, and I found all of the Dr. Lee books, which were progesterone based. He did not, in the beginning at least, believe you needed estrogen replacement. And so I tried the progesterone cream over the counter, and that was kind of, it was okay. It helped me sleep a little, but I had a lot of troubles with hot flashes and with irritability, and frankly, I was almost homicidal sometimes with some of my staff because I was just totally irritated. And I'm usually a very jolly and happy-go-lucky, positive force in my office. And finally settled on this book by Dr. Christian Northrup called Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. And I read all the way through. It was a huge volume, about the size of a Random House dictionary. And when I got to the part about menopause, I had absolutely every symptom. Went back to my gynecologist with the plea, can we try what she offers in this book? Well, I don't know too much about it, and I don't think so, and it's got to be the same as Prempro. Have you tried Prempro? Some women have to take it for a month and then the headaches go away. And I said, I can't take it. So she said, well, I don't know what to tell you, but go and talk to this pharmacist who's a friend of mine. She talked to a lady by the name of Irene who owned a compounding pharmacy, and she happened to be the same age as me and was going through this same process. And so together we formulated this formula that was originally written about by Dr. Christian Northrup in her book. And together we formed this topical cream and gel, and it included progesterone and testosterone, a little bit of testosterone and estrogen. So I used that successfully, took away all the hot flashes, I began to sleep. It was incredible. And I tried to tell my gynecologist about it, and she just said, well, that's all right. As long as Irene and you are together on this every 2 years, we will give you a pelvic ultrasound and make sure you're okay, which is okay. She was at least letting me do it. And so I used this regimen for probably 10 years successfully, at least I thought successfully. And I'm a workout fanatic a little bit. Every morning is my vacation time for me, and it used to be 5:30 in the morning, now it's 7. But sold my business, went through a divorce, and my mom and dad began to fail, along with my older sister who has schizophrenia. So I was in this situation of managing my investment properties after I'd sold my business. My mom was tail spinning. My papa had what we thought was Alzheimer's, and my sister had schizophrenia. I was the major caregiver. So all of a sudden, my workout sessions, I'd injure my shoulders, I injured my back hurt, I blew a disc in my lumbar spine, had to have surgery on the right shoulder. And long story short, my mama took about a year to pass. It was just dreadful, painful, and I was there, and I buried her on October 15th, and by November 1st, I went to San Diego to visit Dr. Farnese for a complete workup. And he tested thyroid, DHEA, adrenal fatigue, tested for adrenal fatigue, all of the estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, all of that, and I was like, I wasn't even taking any product. So apparently I had what's called skin fatigue, because I was putting it in the same spot every night, same dosage every night. So my bones were starting to flutter, and my DEXA scan every 2 years, they'd say, oh, you know, you've got the perfect lineup. You don't have a lot of body fat. Your European background, my parents came from Italy, you're light, and so you're going to have osteoporosis. So wanted to put me on Actonel or Fosamax. So he began to tweak first my adrenals, got settled in, or I got settled in on an adrenal recovery program, and that seemed to work. Then we addressed DHEA, then we addressed the thyroid, then we addressed, and just bit by bit, and it's been about 1.5 years, and I just feel like I'm 30 again. I can work out, I can pump iron, my muscles begin to develop again, I have energy, enthusiasm all day long. I love what I do, which is take care of my parents' property now as well as my property and my papa and my sister. But it feels different. It just feels so different. And I'm enthused about life again. And I don't want to kill someone.